Welcome to Mom's Life Made Simple, the podcast for moms who want to go from chaos to calm, from overwhelmed to organized, and to find balance between family responsibilities and personal growth. I'm your host, Chanel Nielsen. Let's make mom life simple. All right, you guys, welcome. So good to be here with you. So today we're going to talk about how to balance your mom life while going all in on your dreams. All right, so yesterday, if you were with me, I talked about Cinderella. And we were talking about happily ever after and this idea of how we think things are going to look versus what they're actually like. And I talked a lot about going for your dreams and just because you have a family and you have obligations and you have these things you need to do doesn't mean that you can't do the things that you feel called to do. So I think that brings up the question then, okay, yeah, that's really great. I want to do these things, but how? Even if I feel like, okay, yes, I'm inspired, I'm going to go for it, right? How do you actually do it? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So the reason why it becomes possible is when you simplify, you're able to do a lot more. And this is why simple matters so much. This is why my program is called Mom Life Made Simple. We have to get rid of something. And what happens is we feel like all the things are so important. I had an interesting conversation today with a woman I was coaching. She has had a lot going on lately. She's actually been really sick. And she had a couple weeks where she just couldn't really do anything. And so now she's feeling behind. And she's like, oh my gosh, I feel behind. I have so many things to do. There's just so much to do. And so we actually broke it down. What do you actually have to do? And we talked it through. And her priorities were different than mine. There were things that I probably would have let slide that were really important to her. And so we figured out what are the really important things. And then we broke it down from there. Well, what has to be done by you? What has to be done by other people? And when we could really see what needed to be done, then we could make an action plan. Then she could take actions. She left that conversation, and even I left that conversation just feeling like, a sigh of relief. This is doable. Instead, we have all these thoughts going on in our heads, and we have this oh my gosh, I have so much to do and I have to do it all. The truth is, you guys, you can't do it all. You just can't. There's so many things. You get ideas throughout your day of things you want to pursue, but there's also your kids needing stuff. There's life. There's so much that calls for your attention. You can't do it all. You just can't. And so you've got to simplify. Well, how do you simplify? I want to give a business example, and I have a couple examples for you that I hope will clarify this point a little bit. So in my business, I get these ideas like, oh my gosh, it would be so great if I had a blog, right? If I wrote things I like to write, I could share some of my best ideas with you and put out this blog so that you could come to my website and there would be all this content available for you. And I was like, okay, yes, put it on my calendar. I'm going to work on this, next week or whatever. And as I sat with that idea for a little bit, I thought, okay, I know exactly what I want to do. I want to coach women. I want to do group coaching. This is what I do. This is what I'm passionate about. I love having people where we can work together and they can get the implementation. I don't want to just be giving information. There's a place for that, right? And I hope that you get that here. And there are things in the works to continue to give that to you. But as I was looking at that, I thought, you know what? Putting my time and energy there doesn't get the result that I want to get. Putting my time and energy into a blog is not going to allow me to coach more people. And that is what I'm all about. I want to be able to coach and to serve in that way. And so ultimately I decided not to do a blog. There's a story told of the British rowing team. So this is really interesting. The British rowing team, and they wanted to get better. They wanted to compete in the Olympics. And so every single thing that they did, they would ask, will this action make the boat go faster? If we go out and get a drink tonight, will it make the boat go faster? If the answer is no, they don't do it. If we get more sleep, if we put in more practice hours, if we do whatever it is, will it make the boat go faster? That was ultimately their goal, to make the boat go faster. So does it make sense to go and lift weights? Well, will it make the boat go faster? Yes or no? If it will, the answer is yes, we're going to pursue this thing. It was a gauge for them to decide. This is how they decided their activities. This is the same kind of thing I was saying in my business. Does it allow me to coach more women? If the answer is no, then it doesn't make sense for me to do. So the question for you is, the question for them, will it make their boat go faster? So the question for you is, what is your boat, right? What are you pursuing? You have to get really clear about what matters to you. We know it's our family. We know our family matters. Will this make my family stronger? That's probably the number one question. And you can even break it down more. What matters to you and your family? Does it matter that you're creating memories and you're going and doing fun things? Does it matter that you're sitting with your kids and being with them when they need to talk? Does it matter that you're home when they get home from school, that you're having family dinner? What matters to you? And that's the question that you need to ask. So will it make my family stronger? Will it allow me to show up in my family the way that I want to show up? Family. Second part, you have, if you're here, most likely you have this thing you want to do. And the things that women are doing are all over the board, but they have this thing they feel called to do, this God-given desire, this podcast or book or business or something that they're like, I know I need to do this. Okay, so then we break it down. Well, what is the end goal? What is it that you want? Is it a certain dollar amount that you want? Is it a certain number of people that you want to reach? What is it? And then everything that you do, will it get you to that end goal? So will what I'm doing make my family stronger? And will it get me to this end goal? You have to really break it down. And that's how you can simplify your life. Because when I look at my day, do I need to go write a blog post on my list of things to do? Actually, no, because it's not going to strengthen my family and it's not going to lead to me coaching more women. So what is the question for you when you get really clear on that and you know what you're going for? Then you can let other things go and you can more easily say no. And you can say, you know what? I can go all in on what matters because I know what is going to get me there. I know what's going to make that boat go faster, and that is what I'm going to choose to do. So another thing here is that when we don't ask this question, and we just say, okay, well, I know my family matters and I'm going to be really good to my family and I'm going to do that, but we're not clear on the simple actions that we can take for our goals, it actually leads to some resentment because we're like, all I can do, all I have time for is my family. This is the only thing I'm capable of in a day because there's so much up here. There's so much going on in our mind, so much overwhelm that we're like, there's not room for anything else. If we bring it down and we say what actually matters in our family, we shrink down the number of tasks that we have to do and we leave a little space. And that space that's carved out is for us to do that other thing that is calling to us. So clarity on where you're going will really help you to find this balance between what you want to do and taking care of your family. One of the things that we do in Mompreneur Life Made Simple is we create a path. We create a path to say, okay, where is it that you want to go? What are you going for? And then once you know that, we can take clear action steps to get you there. And it's a powerful thing because you will find that every day you know what needs to be done and you know what you can let go of. And when you know that, all of a sudden, instead of feeling like I have so many things that must be done, you're like, no, I have a few things that really matter. You focus on those. And then you find this balance and this peace because you're working towards where you want to go. So if Mom Life Made Simple sounds like a place that you need to be, we are starting a new group right now. Is the time to get on the phone with me and schedule a call so that we can get you set up for that group. It's a 3-month group coaching. We meet once a week. And in addition to coaching and working with you and figuring all this out, there's curriculum, and I teach you just the best of the best tools and techniques that I've learned reading hundreds and hundreds of books on these topics. The women who have been through this group, first of all, are amazing, but second, have seen amazing transformation and results. And that's exactly what we're going for. Their boats are going faster. Their boats are aimed exactly where they want them to be, and they are moving along and they are headed right where they want to go. And it is powerful to see. So I hope you will join me. Schedule a call this week or next. We are open for those calls, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Thank you for listening to Mom's Life Made Simple. I'm so glad that you're here, and I want you to join us for the 2023 Self-Care Challenge. Each month, we will be diving into a different area of simple self-care, learning how to create habits that allow you to make time for yourself. So to join the challenge, go to chanelnielsen.com/selfcare 2023. When you join, you'll get access to free downloads that help you to create and track your new habits, as well as a link to the community so that you can discuss and win prizes that the guests are sharing on the podcast. I'm so excited for you to make self-care part of your year in 2023.